Shalom Chavrim, I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. You're watching Ben-Nun Institute of Biblical Research. And friends, I wanted to share with you something from the book of James. This is something I've thought about many times before, and I really felt like it's getting timely to speak about this, especially in light of the different things that are happening in the world and some of the things we cover over at Israeli News Live, and of course also on Patreon and on Israeli News Live. And this is something, I see this so often with big ministries always encouraging people to buy gold, and not just ministries, but even all types of different online independent media outlets and stuff. They're always encouraging people to buy gold, and I never myself have ever encouraged anyone to buy gold myself. And one of the main reasons I don't is because of the book of James and exactly what it says here. Now, I'm not here to discourage you either. If you feel like that's something that you should do, is to have a little gold on hand or whatever the case may be because you're concerned about what's going to happen in the U.S. economy in the near future, that's something you need to pray about yourself. But as far as me to encourage you to do it, I'll never encourage you to actually do something like that. Let me share with you, though, exactly what James says. It says, "Go to now, ye rich men, and weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten." Now, I think this deals more with those that are so focused on being able to survive financially is probably the main focus of this. And of course, even these mega ministries that are millionaires to start with. But he says here, "Your gold and your silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers have heaped down your fields." reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You have lived in pleasure on the earth, and have been warned. You have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. Very troubling, isn't it? You have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. Be patient, therefore, brethren, until the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit of the earth, and hath long patience for it, until he receive the early and latter rain. So it's just something that I've never done myself. I never have been the one to encourage stockpiling gold and silver. If anything, if you wanted to try to save up something because you are concerned about the latter days and what's coming and everything, I would much rather go with food and non-perishable items like that than I would gold or silver. Because after all, what would you do with the gold and silver in the first place? Well, you'd end up using it to buy food. So why not just buy food now instead of going the other route? Something I just wanted to share because it's kind of on my heart to share that with you, and especially in light of this fact as well, because I was thinking about the One Belt, One Road initiative, the Silk Road initiative. I've shared so much on Israeli News Live. I've talked about this in great detail. And there's one thing I keep noticing, a theme I notice over and over and over. Have you ever looked at the maps of the Silk Road? This is part of a New World Order program. This is something that has been very much backed by Rome as well. It is something that, if you look at the maps, both maritime and land railways, etc., you never see the United States included in this initiative. In fact, the only thing you do see, when you do see, like here, where you have the United States on there, in that particular map there, is that just comes up to places like this here. Who is actually attending China's Belt and Road Forum? So yes, we have Brazil, we have the United States, Argentina, we have those in Alaska. We had people from there attending. But if you just decide to look at the actual maps, like in this case here, on so many of the maps there, this new Silk Road, the maritime borders of it, etc., and I'll blow that up a little bit bigger so you can see it better there. Everything is dealing with the Middle East. It deals with Europe, Russia. It deals with Egypt, down towards Sudan, Kenya, Nairobi, all these areas here, and if you've ever done any research, even the 7 countries that General Wesley Clark talked about being taken down, including Libya, they have all expressed the interest in being part of the Silk Road. Israel, major player. In fact, I discovered recently, there's some other people that have also spoke about the Silk Road in connection to Israel and the New World Order. In fact, they did a video on June the 18th. I don't know if they may have known this before I did. I have no idea. But at any rate there, they spoke about how that the money that was invested into Chinese banks was actually done by the Rothschilds. That's where all the money came for this huge investment. And as I said before, you can see which countries are going to really benefit from the Silk Road. Ukraine as well. The Silk Road will go right through Ukraine. Another reason why we see so many places that are, well, they're contested areas right now. So if the United States is being left out, what is going to happen to the United States? Part of the New World Order, maybe we may all end up spending our times in FEMA camps instead. Maybe they're just going to let the United States rot when it goes into civil unrest and disarming of the nation and all the things like that. It's kind of interesting if you think about it. President Trump's grandchildren are all studying the Mandarin language. What are they planning on doing? We know people like Hillary Clinton and other big political leaders have bought properties overseas, even in the Middle East. Not so much the Middle East, I should say the Far East. What do they know? What's coming to the United States? Pray about it. You know, I know a lot of people have invested in gold and things like that anyway. They say it's something they feel they need to do, but after all, James said that it'll just end up rotting. It'll corrupt. Won't be anything you can do anything with it. Something to think about. We're going to get back here on Danoon Institute, sharing with you more biblical insights in the coming days here. I know this is a little short broadcast, so I just wanted to share a little something with you. I haven't talked to you in a while over here. I'm sure many of you are already on Israeli News Live anyway, so it's not like you're not keeping up with the things that we are sharing there, as well as the prophetic insights that I shared just the other day. But also, I might add as well, those of you that are not aware of what's going on that watch Danoon Institute from a different standpoint, we have a conference that is coming up here in Orlando. We still have seats available. They are going very rapidly. August the 4th, 2018 at 6 p.m., 6 to 10 p.m. Orlando Conference at Embassy Suites Orlando North. That's in Altamonte Springs, Florida, which is actually just a suburb of Orlando. And it's actually, that is, if you're on Interstate I-4 that cuts through Orlando, that would be exit 92 is where that's at. The phone number on your screen is to the hotel of Embassy Suites, just in case you need to get directions how to get there as you're coming in. It's right there by the exit there. We're doing a little mini conference there. Myself, my wife will be speaking. I will be going into things that I have never said publicly before. It's the work that I've done with the U.S. government, the different things that I am very much aware of, and how many of the things that are called conspiracies are not conspiracies. They are true. So I'm sure you'll be blessed at coming to this meeting there. And if you're able to make it, you need to email us though. We do have limited seating. We're limited to 100 people. So we need to hear from you early on. Stephen Bennun, B-E-N-N-U-N, at gmail.com. I'll put that in the description below. So if you haven't already emailed us, email us. Let us know who's coming with you. And we will email you back confirming that we have been able to put you on our list. We're already at half capacity already just after announcing this about 3 days ago. So it is filling up very rapidly. Again, that is August 4th, 2018 here in Orlando, Florida. We're also working on a conference up in Nashville, Tennessee, not too far from the airport there in Nashville, Tennessee. It's still a little bit in the early stages. So if you live in the Nashville area, we are looking at doing a conference up there, either September, October, and as well in Oregon. We'll be in Oregon in November. We haven't set the date for November as of yet. L.A. Marzulli will be speaking with us, though, at the conference in Oregon. So just kind of keep those thoughts in your mind depending on whereabouts you live in the United States, because we will be crossing the country, holding conferences in different locations. I'm Steve Ben-Nun with the Noon Institute of Biblical Research. Thank you for watching. Support the broadcast, please, especially if you watch Israeli News Live as well, israelinewslive.org. You can go there and donate there. Or if you would like, you can also by mail. You can also support the broadcast. Well, thought it was going to open up here, maybe not. Nope, that's the conference right there. But also we have, oh, that is the conference. Boy, I don't know what I'm doing here. There we go. Then we also have our address here for the Noon Institute if you would like to support this ministry as well on the screen behind you. I'm Stephen Ben-Nun. Shalom in a world of Ein Shalom. Good evening.